Hey everybody, welcome back to FSP, Forex Stock Predictions. Hope you are all having a great weekend. Today is Sunday the 11th and it is time for our weekly trading breakdown. This is where I go over all of this past week's previous trades and open positions, and we can go through them, see which ones have won, which ones have lost, which ones never opened, what is the story, what are the vibes with all of these positions. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Right, so for this week, we had three positions which were published on YouTube as well as the actual website. The link for the website is below in the description. Check it out. You can see all of the analysis for all of these trades. We have fantastic traders all posting their thoughts and their analysis on the entire financial market spectrum. All right, so the first trade we are looking at happened on Monday the 5th. We were on AUD USD in the 4-hour time frame, and we were looking at this falling wedge. And we can see that when we were looking at it, the 5th of September was around these candles right here. Let me zoom up just to make things a little bit clearer. There we go. 5th of September, these candles, these four candles right here, and we were looking at this potential double bottom. We had the wedge formation, right, which we can still see we are in, and we were looking to see whether price would break out of the wedge around here and use this as a double bottom. And we were saying we were not going to enter unless we see price break up into this yellow zone, which was previous support, and we could break above it, close it, and flip it as resistance. Obviously, that did not happen, so there was no entry, so there was no trade. What actually happened was price continued, just like we thought could happen, right? Price continued, it bounced off of the top of the falling wedge and carried on south, treating the bottom as new support, making lower lows. Now, as we are making these lower lows, the histogram on the MACD is still making higher highs, showing partial divergence, right? Which tells us eventually the bulls were going to come and take control. And we can see that happened exactly, right? On the 9th, on the 8th, we had the last candle. So from the 8th and 9th of September, we had a fantastic breakout from this wedge, right? It gave us no entry, even in the smaller time frames. I am a breakout and retest trader. I did see no retest to the bottom of this wedge. What happened instead is that price has gone back up into this previous zone. It's interesting, right? It's interesting to see how price keeps respecting certain zones on a chart, because this yellow zone was previous support, right? Was previous a resistance there, flip to support, flip to support, flip to support, right? The closer we got to our current timeline, previous support, we broke through it, treated it as resistance, came back down, and now we are currently sitting within it. So what is going to happen? Are we going to reject this again and carry on down, right? Or are we finally going to break through, right? If we break through, I will be starting to look for some long setups on this pair for this coming week. If we get rejected, it might still be shorting opportunity time. And what we could be seeing is the market begin to range between this daily support level down here and this yellow previous resistance, flip to support, flip to resistance, flip to support. It's like a tongue twister. Flip to resistance, flip to support level, right? So we could see price bouncing around these two zones. However, we don't know that yet. We need to see what the market does. So there's obviously a lot of liquidity in this zone, right? The market makers is collecting a lot of orders. It's using this zone to collect a lot of power to push this price either up or down or meander within it for a while, right? While it consolidates, breathes, yes, and then breaks through either to the downside or to the upside. So nothing on this pair. That double bottom never happened. The breakout of the wedge definitely happened, except it happened lower down, and now we are sitting in this yellow zone of previous resort. Previous support, flip to resistance, flip to support, flip to resistance. I dare you to say that 12 times in a row, right? That's a tongue twister. All right, cool. The next position we were looking at, which was published to YouTube as well as our site, was on, let me have a look here. Wednesday the 7th, we were on Euro USD. We had an order block in the 4-hour. Let's go to it. Euro USD order block in the 4-hour. There it is. Right. Now, what is interesting for those of you that watch this video, and remember, I link all of the vids up at the top right hand corner of your screen so you can watch when I was actually analyzing these setups on the actual day itself, right? So what I was saying is, what does Euro USD like to do to me, right? It makes me a victim of fake out all the time. And what was I cautious of and aware of? I said, we finally broke this major support line. We closed below it. These 2 weeks here were showing very strong bullish buying power, and I said beware of a fake out. Just because we close below it, yes, multiple punches through a wall, eventually we break through. But what do the market makers do? They want to do the opposite of what us retail traders think will happen. So just because we close below and now we're starting to look for short setups doesn't mean that is what actually happens. What happened was a fake out, a complete fake out. We then went all the way up, breaking through previous resistance up at the top here, right? Which we have not seen since the end of August. So the market clearly does know how to throw us a curveball. So what I was looking at was a return, a retrace back into this order block zone, thinking that this bearish candle was enough to suffice a complete break of the support line. It closed below. Even though we had this strong buying wick, we still meandered and consolidated down here. I was waiting for a small retrace back into it before heading south again. The market said, nope, it is time for another fake out, and they completely faked us out and stopped us out of this trade. This is the reality of trades. You have seen me take some fantastic order block setups which work perfectly, and you have also seen me take some which work not so perfectly, and this is one of those times. This order block zone got completely destroyed while the market was faking us out and going in the opposite direction to what we thought was going to happen. We can see we came all the way up, it stopped us out fairly quickly, and now we went above the resistance, and now we are currently sitting around that resistance zone, which is interesting because it is where we are sitting, remember, on AUD USD as well as a previous zone of previous support, flip to resistance, now flip back to support. Yes? So that is where we are currently residing within Euro USD. So now I get to delete this, and we have a fresh chart that we can analyze for this coming week. It looks like we may have an opportunity to go long. However, nothing is set in stone. Let's see what happens on Monday. Let's see what happens when the markets open later. Okay, we may look for long positions, but if I switch to the daily quickly, just to show you guys, we are still in bearish territory, all right, and we have been for a while. Look at the wick that closed below this resistance line on Friday, right? Price is definitely ranging on the daily time frame, 100%. So let's see what happens, but the overall trend is still completely bearish. Completely bearish. And if we throw a trend line on there, just from where we are right now, right? Remember, these trend lines can be subjective. It depends where you place them. But right now, as it stands, look at that. We are still below the trend line. So there is nothing stopping price heading up, getting rejected at this trend line, which is the apex of this previous support line as well. This zone right here. We could get rejected and carry on south once more. So best to wait. Yes, best to wait. Right, so that was a loss. We took on Euro USD, no biggie. We carry on. The last trade we had was on the Thursday, the 8th, right? We were looking at the DAX 40, the German 40. We were looking at a Bollinger Band strategy that I have been testing and showing you guys. And this trade played out absolutely beautifully. Right. Let me rewind time on TradingView. You can do this. Let's see. Right, let's rewind it to here. Right, guys, there we go. This is what price looked like when I posted this video. We were saying this is a new strategy that I was testing out. You can watch the video. It's been linked above, and you can just try and understand how I am using these setups in order to take advantage of price action. And what we were waiting for was an engulfing candle to appear. Once we saw the engulfing bearish candle, a retrace back into the fib level of the 0.236 price point. We then use our trend-based fib extension to find our targets. I always look for a minimum of 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2, depending where these targets will lie, right? This gave us a nice 1 to 2 because we always place our stop a couple of pips above the 1 level fib. And now let's put the speed a bit lower, and you guys can see every second it's going to form another candle, what actually happened. So here we go. There's our bullish engulfing candle, right? Before we had this next candle right down here, which took us towards our targets, we had a retrace. Let me zoom up. I'm going to remove this arrow just so we can make it clearer. I want you guys to see where this candle actually retraced to. There's the wick. Can you guys see it? Just above the 0.236 price point. It wicked just above. So it closed here, right? Then we waited for a retrace, small little retrace. It wicked right into our entry zone on the 0.236 price point, right? Once we saw that, we placed our trend-based fib extension, okay? And we wanted on this one a 1 to 2, or at least a 1 to 1.5. Let's see what happened. We got our retrace. We smashed straight into our first target. Let's push play. There it is. There was our last target. It gave us a 1 to 2, pretty much exactly. Now we could have held out to try and get further to the opposite side of the Bollinger Bands, but like I said in the video, whilst I was explaining the setup, is that we don't wait for price to hit the other side because we don't know for sure that it's going to do that. We take our 1 to 1.5, we take our 1 to 2 risk to reward, and we walk away. And that's exactly what happened, because look at this. We retraced and then boom, now we are back above, and this is where we are currently sitting right now. So we managed to get a nice short entry before price came above and headed on back up north, right? So let me remove this right now, because now this was a win. We can delete all this and we can have a nice clean chart to start with. This little 1.5 should be a 2. What I do is I always update it as where price is currently sitting from where I currently take profits. So we can switch that to a 2. And you guys know from the previous vids that I upload, these little numbers are my winning trades. The green circles are the winning trades and the pink circles are the losers. So that was that trade. So we can see now if we get another bearish engulfing candle come Monday, could see if there's another opportunity to go short. Currently we can see that this DAX is ranging, and if I take off the Bollinger Bands, right, we can see simply that price is sitting between support down here, right, and resistance up above, right there. All right, so these zones are clear zones where this price is bouncing between. So when we switch the Bollinger Bands back on, you can see if we will have another reason to go short. If not, we look for long setups. And that's how the markets work, guys. Okay, take everything with a pinch of salt. The markets will humble the best traders in the world. You cannot win every single time that goes against trading. It just doesn't work that way. Think of your losses as expenses when running a business. Trading is a business. You're starting a business. It is your own business. Any business has overheads. Every business has expenses. What are our expenses when it comes to trading? Our losses. Our losses are our expenses. Our winners, well, that's our revenue. That's our profit streams. All right. So on that note, let's wrap up today's weekly trading breakdown. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please would you go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a little comment in the comment section below. It really helps out the channel. And I will be seeing you all on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.